What's good, YouTube? Today we are going to be going over my top 5 most overrated players in the NBA. And I just look, I know this one I might catch a lot of heat, okay? I got some pretty hot takes in here. Just be prepared. When I say overrated, I don't mean in the sense of like they're a bad player. Some of the players on this list are better than like 85% of the league, but I think their skill is slightly over-skewed by the fans and that they are not just bad players, but they're not as good as people say. And most of them, I think, have the potential to hit that spot where they're already being recognized as officially and truly be that good of a player, maybe even exceed those expectations. So I'm not trying to just trash on any of these players, but I do think that these players are slightly overrated. The first one we're going to be going over is Paolo Banchero. And okay, bro, chill. I know some of y'all already typing up paragraphs in the comment section, okay? Let me just explain, okay? Paolo is better than 90% of players in the league, but people talk about this guy as if he's a lock on being better than Jalen Williams. People talk about him as if he's like the closest thing we've ever had to LeBron James. I don't think that he's there quite yet, but I see the flashes, I see the potential. Let me break down my case for you. Last season, he was not efficient whatsoever. He had shot a high volume of shots, but he only had 32% from 3 and 45% from the field. But in the playoffs, I really saw him turn up a notch where I'm like, okay, this guy, Paolo Banchero, is going to be next up. And I was going to have him higher on this list until the playoffs happened, where I saw him drop pretty much 30 points per game, 43% from the field. All right, so maybe like about the same from the field, but he got his three-point percentage up to 44%. A jump from 32 to 44 is insane. So I see the flashes of Paolo Banchero. I see the superstar potential. I don't think he's quite there yet, okay? I think he's still slightly overrated, but this upcoming season, he's not going to be on this list. I think he will hit that pinnacle point, but the next person, I don't really think they will hit that pinnacle point. And look, I'm going to be real, okay? It's Scottie Barnes. Now, Scottie Barnes has gotten unlimited glaze. I feel like this guy just, like nobody ever says anything critical on Scottie Barnes, okay? Like imagine, like you know when you're in class and there's like two kids that do the same exact things. They talk a lot, they make jokes, but one just always gets shat on for it, and then the other one just nobody says a thing. No, the teacher never bats an eye, right? That's Scottie Barnes and Jalen Green, okay? Scottie Barnes has done the exact same amount in his career as Jalen Green. And honestly, bro, look, let me just get into the numbers a bit, okay? His efficiency has only gotten worse since his rookie year. He shot 27, bro, 27. We're talking tour dates from percentage, bro. What, 27% from 3 and 44% from the field. Bro, if Russell Westbrook did that, you know how much flag he would get? Imagine if Russell Westbrook, bro, if Russell Westbrook was shooting this many attempts a single night, as much as Scottie Barnes is right now, with the same efficiency, we've seen it already. He just gets flagged for it. Scottie Barnes, you've never heard anything critical being said. I got Scottie Barnes on this list because I do think he has a lot of potential. I mean, the raw upside is still there. But, bro, this guy gets glazed unlimitedly. People talk about, Scottie Barnes the best player in the NBA. Scottie Barnes going to be the best player. If you know, you know, bro. If you know, you know. But, no, Scottie Barnes is not there. I got him next on the list. All right, bro. Now we're going to be going over this guy. This is my op. If I have an op in the NBA, it's Tyler Herro. Okay? After what he tried to pull on my boy, Amen Thompson, if I have an op in the league, it is Tyler Herro. Okay? All jokes aside, though, Tyler Herro, he's an empty stats merchant. Okay? He's on a bad team putting up good numbers. We've seen this time in and time out. He got his first year of being an all-star this year. Bro, he's doing the same thing as what Bradley Beal did on the Wizards, right? Bad team, good stats. The same thing that Kemba Walker, who's actually pretty nice, I can't lie, on the Hornets, he did have empty stats though, and you saw that the second that he left the team, he just was not able to find that level of production. Bro, the way I see it, when I see Tyler Herro, dude, he has a higher usage percentage than 93% of the league, bro. No wonder he's going to have these monster points per game. Obviously, bro, he's having the ball more than 93% of the players in the league. He's the star player of the Miami Heat. They're not going anywhere. They ain't winning no games, bro. They got bailed out this year because they actually were able to keep Jimmy for a good amount of it. But I guarantee you next season, they're going to taper off. They might even be a lottery team. And in my personal opinion, bro, the way I see it, if you sub or honestly just replace the roles, replace the teams of Tyler Herro and Austin Reeves, I really do think they're the exact same player. But Tyler Herro just gets a mega amount of more glaze than Austin Reeves does. Put Tyler Herro on the Lakers, he's going to average about 17 a game. You put Austin Reeves on the Miami Heat, he's going to get 24, 25 points per game. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. So, yes, I got Tyler Herro next on the list. Overrated. Obviously, he's really good of a shoot. He's a really good shooter. I just don't think that he's as good as people are calling him out to be. He's a great player, great shooter, great offensive player. I think he'd be a really good third option. But to be a first option on the Miami Heat and like putting up these stats, it's kind of empty stats to me. That's how I see it. All right, bro. I know I said this list was supposed to be a top 5, and I still have one other person to mention here, which is the most overrated player in the NBA, in my personal opinion. But I was going to make it have 2 other people on this list that I actually just took off. It was Lamelo Ball and Jalen Green. I think people are finally just understanding Jalen Green's actual talent and worth in the league right now. I think it's properly rated. People were coming into the season at some point saying, oh, dude, he's going to be the star player. But now I guess people are understanding that, he has a lack of consistency, and his playoff stinkers really just made him devalue in the market just in general. It's honestly such a massive surprise that they were able to do a Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks Kevin Durant swap, because Jalen Green's value was just at an all-time low. So I can't put Jalen Green on the list no more. Maybe coming into the season I could, but now no more. And with LaMelo Ball, I was going to have him on the list, but I took him off because just looking at the amount of games he plays, that's the reason why the Hornets have not found success. It's because of injuries. You look at his actual stats themselves, he's averaging phenomenal numbers. We're talking 25, 7, and 7 on some nights, okay? But the thing is, he's just not healthy enough. I mean, every single season, he plays around 35 games, 40, if we're lucky. Maybe he has a season with 50 games, from his second year playing. Since then, dude, what are you really getting out of him? I think if he was actually fully healthy, he'd be a top 5 guard in the East, and I don't think that's a hot take by any means. With that yapping out of the way, we're going to get to our number 1 undisputed spot of the most overrated player in the NBA, and I don't hate this player. I think he's actually a really good player, but I do think that his value and what the team is paying him is just really high compared to what he actually brings to the table, and that is Jaren Jackson Jr., okay? He just signed a contract extension, which is going to be paying him $48 million a year. All right, dude, I hate to do this to this guy. This is a real true opium soldier right here, okay? But he's 6'10", okay? Okay, 6'10", right? We're talking Anthony Davis is around that height, okay? We're talking Jason Tatum is around that height. Bro, he gets 5 rebounds a game. Bro, 5 rebounds a game? Bro, just to put that into perspective, Damian Lillard gets about 4.7 rebounds a game, okay? How does that make sense? That you are 6'10" and a 6'2" to 6'3" guard is getting the same amount of rebounds as you. And it's not even like Jaren Jackson is a stretch 4 for the most part, like a Kristaps Porzingis, where, he has a long part of his game just outside, in 3-point range. A lot of Jaren Jackson's work is done around the post. Maybe he goes on the perimeter sometimes, but it's a good mix of it, right? 5 rebounds a game, bro? What are we doing here, man? What are we doing here? And then on top of that, yes, he is one of the best defenders in the NBA. He won the Defensive Player of the Year. The only thing is, how much can you really bring that defense out when he's always in foul trouble? I mean, there's been so many times, so many moments where he's been struggling to be able to play the second half of a game because he's already in foul trouble, and you can't really utilize him as much. So, look, here's the thing with all these players, right? We're talking with the Paolos. What makes him overrated? His lack of efficiency. I think he can fix it. Scottie Barnes, what makes him overrated? His lack of shooting. I think he can fix it. Tyler Herro, he's just a different type of player. I think he's just overrated by his standards and his stats. I don't think that he's a bad player by any means. I just think that he's not a first option. He'd be really good third option, or someone around that maybe even a second if he really hits his peak, right? Jaren, what is the problem? Defense and foul trouble. I'm not trying to trash out any of these players. All these players could fix these holes, which would take them to immense lengths. But these holes in their game are truly devastating some of these players, which makes them overrated in my personal opinion. But let me know who you think is the most overrated player in the NBA. I know I'm probably gonna catch a lot of hate for this video, but this is supposed to be hot takes, okay? And I want to hear yours in the comment section below. Who do you think is the most overrated? What do you think about my list? Are any of these guys what do you think? Are they properly rated, underrated, overrated? Let me know. And if you still here, just know I appreciate you. Leave a like, subscribe down below, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Take care.